doing, everyone? 8 o'clock, Sunday night. Oh, yes, it's time for the return of Braw Cast Live, wherever the bloody hell you are. I'm Billy Kirkwood. Relax. I've never heard of me either, but what the bloody hell is broadcast? If you're tuning in wherever you are, well, let me tell you, it's a lifestyle podcast. It's an attitudes podcast. What we get to do is we get to talk to wonderful, amazing individuals from all around the world. We've talked to pro wrestlers, we've talked to actors, we've talked to comedians, we've talked to MMA fighters, and so much more. We get to do that. We get to have a chat with you guys wherever you are in the comments. And the whole thing is brought to you completely free right now on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and you can also check out all the old episodes right now over at Spotify or iTunes, wherever you get your podcast from. It's totally fucking free. What's not to like about it? So wherever you are, say hi to the comments. I'll tell you, we've got as our guest tonight, we've got Peter Murphy, the Pirate King. Now, if you've seen the previous episodes, we've got to talk to him live from his kitchen, from his den. So if you've got any like culinary, why not? Let's go for that. Culinary questions at all. Put them in the comments. Hey, we'd love to post some of the questions. Even some of the TikTok hacks and stuff. I would love to hear the Pirate King's opinion of that. We're going to chat to him just ahead of his hit series, Pirate King Kitchen, returning for season 3. He's just in prep for that, so we're going to get a chance to chat to him. Now's the perfect time to talk about ideas, see what he's been up to during the close season as well, and just have ourselves a wee catch-up. Don't forget, before we kick things off, head over right now to Braw Beard Oils. You can get yourself some amazing stuff. We're coming up on an anniversary in October, so make sure to head over right now, subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the channel, whatever it is, and make sure to check out all the amazing content because we've got some brilliant stuff coming. And here's the very, very cool thing. Why not get yourself some stuff for your pals in the run up to Christmas? We've got beard oils, got combs, got t-shirts, got neck gaiters, all types of good stuff. And remember, before we get in about broadcast, this is your show. So whatever you're watching, hit me up in the comments, say hello. We'd love to hear from you. We are live each and every Sunday night. Well, apart from a pre-recording, but don't let that worry you. This is totally live tonight. I don't know how to prove it, but it's totally live tonight. Sad news for Only Fools and Horses fans. Does that help prove it? Right, okay. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, just say hello to a couple of people. Good evening, David Scott. I hope you're well. Good evening, James O'Hara. Luke Stott as well. Good evening, Luke. I'm very well. I hope you are as well, mate. And of course, to Colm as well. Good evening. How's it hanging? Kind of squinty and always to the left, but never let that bother you. Right, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome back the Pirate King? There he is, the Pirate King. Pirate Captain on deck. I'm never exactly sure.
Welcome aboard and all that.
Oh, how the devil are you, mate?
I'm very well, yes. COVID's over. We don't need to worry about it anymore. It's all going away. So, yeah. So let's just be getting on with it.
Oh, is this just in? Is this news just in?
Boris says it's all done. So, yeah.
We're all done.
We're all done.
Cool, man. Well, we can all go around to lick each other's doorknobs again.
We can be licking doorknobs. We can be sniffing complete strangers and Asda. Whatever it is you do, you can do it now. You've had a jag. You know, they've put the 5G chip in you. So, yeah, let's go on with it.
I have to say, for the record, right, if any of these conspiracy theorists are watching, my network signal has been shite for quite some time. So I'm afraid to say the 5G, the 6G, the 7G, whatever it is, the Skynet, whatever they're putting up our poopers just to in order to get us through the vaccine, it's not working. It's not working.
If you get your vaccine up your pooper, you went to an unauthorized clinic, mate. You want to maybe get that looked at.
Well, anything to get us through those last couple of months. Mate, how the devil are you? It feels weird because last time we got to see each other was when we were filming the special you did with me and John at Pirate King at the kitchen, which is behind you, which a couple of people have said is not a green screen. That is
no, I'm actually here.
The actual kitchen. You can see the smoker. You can see. Is that a pizza oven? A spy? Is that a new one?
No, I had 2 smokers because you do. No, I had a Bradley smoker from back in the day when I was just a pirate baby, and I can upgraded during lockdown because I am the world's worst impulse buyer, and I bought the Traeger smoker. So kind of had 2 smokers. A friend of mine has been looking for a smoker, so we came to a deal. So now I have something which I didn't have, which is a fridge. So no more of that salmonella carry on. No, I've been needing a fridge in here for a while, And I know it's all laid out in the way I like it. There wasn't any room to put a fridge that I could get during the shows and stuff like that. Yeah, I could put one that side, you've seen the other side.
Right.
But without kind of pushing past the guests all the time, there was no physical room in here for a fridge.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, for the new season coming, people on YouTube love to support you in all your ventures and everything you're doing.
Well, I've never found any negative comments in
Yeah,
anything I've ever done on YouTube ever.
So we go on a lot about washing hands, and we go on a lot about refrigerators. So the fact is, I have a sink. You've been in the kitchen; it's just not on camera. If you want to go and watch like a £400 man wash his hands, I'm sure there are very specialist channels for that kind of thing to happen. But it is right over there.
GaryMittens.com, if anyone wants to go and check that out.
And the other thing was the fridge, which I did take on board. The fact that when we done the shows, it comes from the fridge in the house. The shows are an hour. I'm quite happy with the food hygiene on that. But for the sake of YouTube and also for extra workspace, put the fridge where the smoker used to. So long story short, I'll just cut all that shit out. I bought a fridge, Billy.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
That's it, yeah. That's it, just sitting there.
I think you can be forgiven in some respects because, like, mate, you're doing, for anyone is just tuning in now, head over to the Pirate Kings Facebook page, give it a like, check out the videos and stuff there, but check over the YouTube stuff, man, because you were doing a live production. Like, don't talk about your fucking, what's that show they put on? It used to be, what's those bloody shows they put on again on Saturday Kitchen and
Kitchen and
don't get
James Martin's Sunday Wank Fest and whatever.
You know what annoys me about James Martin is they took the most boring of the celebrity cooks and gave him a fucking show. Mm-hmm. At least put Ainsley Harriott on, for fuck's sake.
Well, I've worked out why I don't have like a Netflix series. A, I cook.
Right.
B, I tell people how to cook. I actually show them the cooking happening.
Right.
I have a personality. I can handle more than 2 cameras at the one time. I have a beautiful speaking voice.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm obviously not in that, not making that Netflix money yet. But we live in hope. This time next year. This time next year will be Netflix, guys.
Well, here we go. Well, look, Netflix, who knows, maybe YouTube Red, all that type of stuff. Like it's an ever-changing thing, even from like maybe 2 years ago or something, when I think we started talking about all this, and even how far it's come. It's crazy because the show as well is getting great views over on YouTube. How are you finding the reach as you're getting ready to go in to season 3? We'll get back to the we'll get back to the name in just a second. But how are you feeling? Are people reaching out to you from all over the world?
Yeah, people are kind of saying, when are you back? What are you doing? What are we going to be? Are you coming? Is it live shows? What are you doing? What are your guests? There is, we very blatantly said at the end of season 3, and you were there for the finale episode, we're taking some time off because this was all new to us. It's not our day job. It's something we do as a bit of fun. It's a family. It's literally a Monpo enterprise. And we started off when we done the very first cook along. We done this with basically my daughter and an iPad, holding it like that, and following me about and doing stuff. And so now we have a full desk set up with 4 cameras, and we can do camera cuts and more professional audio and all that sort of stuff. So it's turned into a thing.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be a YouTube guy or into that whole life. To me, it's not YouTube and Facebook and cooking. That's not what I do for a living. It's something I do for fun. And if other people want to watch me make an idiot of myself, bang in. That's great. But you kind of get into that sort of the statistics of it all. You look at where your views are coming from, and what time of day and all that, all the stuff that Facebook and YouTube give you. And it's amazing the people we tend to. Our run was we would maybe have 20 or 30 people, up to 40 people watching the live show.
Okay.
And then over the weekend, that would kind of bump to about 5,000, which was people, other people picking it up, not live, but
sharing it.
And then over the coming week, it would jump up to like between 25, 35, 45,000 people. And that was, so it was obviously hitting an algorithm somewhere about something. And I don't spend any time getting into the filling out all the shit you should. I just put the shows up there.
Yeah,
I don't do the hashtags and the sort of keywords and all that nonsense.
It's funny because stuff like Great Mythical Kitchen, we kept hearing during lockdown how people would watch, like, they'd rewatch Only Fools and Horses, they'd rewatch Faulty Towers. They all had like their comfort, watches.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my good lady, we will watch things like Barry Lewis. With My Virgin Kitchen, we'll watch Josh and My Mythical Kitchen.
Yeah.
We would digest stuff during the week. Do you think that's what people started doing? They're sitting down and making you an appointment to watch The Pirate King.
I think people kind of done their whole, they watched all the stuff that they usually watch. They then went through Netflix and watched all the things they had the time to watch.
Yeah.
And they kind of went, well, okay, what are we going to watch now? And they would go onto YouTube. And I mean, do not get me wrong, I don't put myself up there. I'm a few years from it, but you've got the guys like Sam the Cooking Guy, and you've got Josh at Mythical Kitchen, and you've got Joshua Wiseman. You've got all your top tier, the people who do it for a living. And then there's another tier down, which is guys like Chud's Barbecue, All Things Barbecue. There's a couple of things that I watch in that tier, and then 47 tiers down for that. So when you're into like month 9 of lockdown, people start to get to the tier I'm on. And because there's a bit of banter, and it's not just a recipe, and it's not just one guy talking to Cam, which is sometimes what people prefer. Totally. We get a bit of engagement, and once you've got that engagement, they come back. So our YouTube stats started down here, and then went up a little bit, and then went up a little bit, and then they kind of leveled out for a while. So we hit our big numbers on Facebook, but our YouTube stuff basically levels out around about 5,000 a week, which in YouTube is not big numbers. But like I said, I never invested any time, and I invested all the time into Facebook. Now for season 3, we are going to invest the time into YouTube, so it won't, because they're not live shows. We are going to YouTube, and we'll do all the keywords and all the stuff that you need to do, proper thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. And then once that's up and running, we'll then link to the Facebook page. But the right now, but
you're going YouTube with this next series.
The last stuff. Well, YouTube, you can be a bit swearier in YouTube, and you can be a bit more bums and willies and all that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Even with TikTok, that it really does not like swearing at all. Like the algorithm completely.
There's certain things, and again, I am very clear. Again, when you're doing that backstage stuff on YouTube, it's never for kids. This is a program for adults. Blah blah blah. There will be swearing, and everything's very clear. We're not false advertising. We're not saying, oh, this is a kiddies cooking show and it shouldn't be tuned in. You go, bums. So, and again, it's to me at the end of the day, if I can make enough money off it to keep the channel going, pay for the ingredients, keep the kitchen going, maybe raise a wee bit here and there for charity. We raised some money for a great charity last year with the book.
That's right.
That's what I want. I have no aspiration to be retiring on that sweet YouTube money.
Well, I tell you what, before we start actual talking recipes and some other bits and bobs, I'm going to reach out to the folk in the comments.
Sure.
If you have any questions for the Pirate King, anything at all, cooking-wise, do you want to try and debunk some theories? Have you made a howl over some stuff over the summertime? Because I think everyone's seen some of the TikTok hacks and have maybe set fires to a bit of their kitchen. Anything at all, hit us up in the comments. We will put them to the Pirate King, and he will judge thee, or he will at least give you some type of response.
Yes, well, we'll put you across some sort of metaphorical culinary plank, or a cuddly plank, whichever one we're using today.
So if you've got any questions at all, hit them in the comments. We'll get back to a whole bunch of them as we get to the end. Rapid fire as quick as we can. We got to talk about food. Right now because it's weird, because the only reason I'm bringing up TikTok is because there's been an explosion of TikTok hacks. And I mean, even it's ridiculous. Like a friend of mine who's an award-winning magician is actually and there's nothing wrong if Elliot is watching, and he could be watching, is the Toasty King over on TikTok, which there's nothing wrong with. I mean, every day he will try another recipe of toasty. bringing down the Breville, the whole thing. Go check it out. It's easily digestible. But have you seen any howlers? Have you come across any howlers in terms of cooking over the last couple of months? Certainly, as things have been opening up.
So let me slightly answer that. I have a TikTok hack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
okay.
there's some good stuff out there on TikTok. There are some absolute wallopers as well. But there is a very good YouTube program called Sorted Food.
Right.
And it's a bunch of 4 or 5. There's a couple of real chefs. I think it's only one real chef. One of them left and went back to chefing. But it's a group of, it's like, they call them normals and a couple of professional chefs. I can't believe I'm pimping somebody else's YouTube channel here. But they do some really good stuff. Right. They've got an app and all that. And I watch them quite a lot. The reason I watch them is they will do the best 5 TikTok hacks of that month.
Yeah.
And they will spend the money and they will set fire to their equipment to see if they actually work. So that being said, there was a recipe on TikTok. I think it's a proper chef. It's a young lady that done it. It's a lady chef, which is absolutely fine. I hear they're driving and everything now, William. And it's called the 72-hour potato. And it's a fantastic recipe. If you get
is that a baked potato?
No, it's a butter poached mealfoo of potato.
Good Lord.
So, and I was so impressed. I'm doing a 9-course taste. I've been commissioned to do a 9-course tasting menu.
I will level with you. I thought you were going to say, but I'm going to do a 90-hour potato.
Yes.
Just to show this will never stop. A 3-week potato.
72 hours. So no, I was so impressed with this potato. I have put it on my Michelin tasting menu. So really? I'm going to use it. We served it kind of as a, like a small. Basically, it's very thinly sliced potato, a load of butter and salt, and a black pepper. They cook it. They slowly cook the potato in the butter, but they put weight on it so they compress it. So all the starch comes out of the potato, all the butteriness goes into the potato, and it comes out like a little block. And then you cut across it, you cut it into a block and you serve it. I'm going to cut it into fingers and use it almost like chips. So when you put it under the grill to reheat it, you get that nice little crispy bits on the outside, but when you cut through it, it's like slices of buttery mash. But lots and lots and lots of them, and it's a really good, and that came from. If it wasn't for TikTok, I wouldn't know about that.
Right. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
And it's kind of so. I got that from Sorted Food because I don't do the TikToks. I'm not a TikTok guy.
Fair dues. I am a watcher of TikToks, although you can check me out at BillyKirkwood_comedy on TikTok if you want to know. I promise I'll post some stuff up.
I'm a man of advancing years, Billy. I do YouTube, I do Facebook, I dabble in the Twitters.
I thought you were going to say MySpace for a second.
No, I'm MySpace OG, mate. I'm not going to have a bad word said about Tom.
Still pick your top 8 and you could pick your songs. I'm just going to say, where's Facebook getting that sorted? Everyone going to my front page. Here, Mick Foley's TNA theme. Let's get that fucking fixed.
No, I mean, the best thing about the interwebs is you get to other people do the work for you sometimes. And Sorted Food's great. And I have no aspirations to be a Sorted Food because, again, they are a commercial enterprise. You know, they have ways of making money. They make a lot of money on YouTube. They have an app. They have all that kind of stuff. But if it wasn't for Sorted Food, I wouldn't know about this TikTok recipe because I don't watch TikTok. Don't do Twitch. Don't do TikTok. And anything else you can come up with. I'd Facebook, YouTube, and a light dusting of Twitter.
Well, it's interesting to see how stuff has got embraced in terms of how people are looking at different foods. Like, I think it would be fair to say that Scots particularly always had quite a reasonably bland palate. I don't think that's a horrible thing. Once upon a time, we spent our time, eating the moss off rocks and eating porridge, and that was pretty much it. It's not me hating on my own kind there, folks. That is, if you go back you only need to go back a couple of 100 years, and that's where we are. But I noticed these stuff like these Danny with the Rate My Takeaway. I don't know if you've seen that on YouTube. I mean, he's everywhere just now.
Yeah.
Really lovely guy. we're hoping again to get him on the show if we can.
That'd be great.
But he's going to all these different places. I mean, he would be a great guest for the Pirate King if we could coax him up to Scotland.
Absolutely, get him up on a double header, and we'll get him in the kitchen. Rate my pirate.
But he's going to all these different places, so people's palates have like opened right up.
Yeah.
What have you found? What's your sort of, before we get onto what you're finding from people? I've always noticed that you have quite across spectrum in terms of the menus that you put together in a season. So as you're looking to season 3, what's some of the stuff you're looking at in terms of going into this season?
So that's actually a fantastic question. You should be on the radio or something.
Thank you.
So
here's Rita Ora.
Season 1 and 2 was very much about me. A little bit of trying to teach people that you can cook in your house. It began with lockdown because ingredients weren't so readily available, and perhaps shopping wasn't as easy as it was. It was good things you could make in your home with what you could get at the time. That kind of developed into me cooking the type of stuff that I like to cook, and then that kind of went into the stuff I like to eat. Now, at the tail end of season 3, when we were allowed people in the kitchen, we had guests in, and it was kind of tailored to what do you like to cook or what do you like to eat, and I would cook their type of food with my spin on it, or have you ever had it this way, or you like curries? Have you ever tried an Indonesian curry as opposed to a Punjabi curry? And I'm not putting myself out there as the greatest curry cook of all time, but I like to try new ways of cooking. So I would research the differences and go, okay, let's try and make this. Season 3 is going to be more towards. So basically, when I finalise with the guests, what would you like to eat? What food's important to you? Whether it was the food you had on your first day, or the food you had when you formed your company, or when your kid was born. What was, or your childhood, and then try and make a twist on that. Make it a bit more piratey. Rub a little bit of pirate funk on it, giggly, and just walk them through. So we're going to talk about the guests a little bit later on, but one of the people that's coming on the show is Grado, and I've known Grado since he was just good. And he's always been that he loves macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah, so I don't even know how I knew that, but I did actually know that.
It's a well-known fact. So when he comes on, I'm going to make him macaroni and cheese, but it ain't going to be like any macaroni and cheese he's ever had before or will ever have again. And it's that's where season 3 is going. It'll be saying to the guests, what do you like to eat, or what would you something that's important. Go away, research it, find a way of making it special.
Wow.
And putting it together and doing it. So it won't be live, but we're going to try and the way I'm going to do it is we'll be filming 2 dishes for each guest.
Okay.
That'll be 2 episodes, because we want to get it down to that sort of 30, 35 minute episode time. But I want to try and get as much I won't be doing the Saturday kitchen of one I prepared earlier. I want to get as much of the cooking as I can. And if I can edit out some of the shite of me talking, which happens a lot, and put more cooking in. The only problem is I tend to talk while I'm cooking, so that might be tricky. I want to get as much of the cooking in here, because to me, the Pirate King show it's as much a chat show. It's as much about interesting people.
Yes.
And how to make good food. Those are the 2 USPs, because you get great chat shows, but I've never seen Parkinson put together a grilled cheese sandwich in my life. And you get
fucking hear that, shows. Parkinson? You heard that? Yeah.
Bring it on. So it's about it's kind of like going to your pal's house and having a chat with somebody and learning. That really interesting person. That was good chat. That was that. And then at the end of it, you've got a wee dinner. It's great. So it's come for the chat, stay for the food, and then fuck off.
As a guest, I can say it's been absolutely amazing. But I tell you what, anyone that's watching right now, I've got a couple of questions for you. Heads up in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. First of all, I want to know, suggest who you could think would be a guest, and feel free to tag them if you can. Yeah. We'll try and connect some dots. Anybody knows Danny from Rate My Takeaway? Let's see if we can get him involved. That would be great. Yep. So let me know your dream guest that you would love for the Pirate King to have on his new season. And what is the dish that you would love to see a little pirate magic, Giggity,
Fantastic.
sprinkled on at all? Is it Grado's mac and cheese? Is it the super pirate Tortuga chicken nuggets? Is that even a thing? I have no idea. My kids like chicken nuggets. Do you know, this is a true story. I did not eat. I took my first bite of a chicken nugget. Here I am, a man in his very early 40s, had his first chicken nugget, and it was positively revolting. Like, I have no idea why kids even remotely like these things. I needed taste when I was a child.
So here's what we're going to do.
Right.
You're a running guest on the show anyway. We'll get you down, and I will teach you how to make chicken nuggets.
Oh.
I will make you a chicken nugget that will make you feel that you have come with the face of God himself.
Oh, right.
It will be the most magnificent chicken nugget you've ever had in your life. Probably about £43 each, but that's not. No, I'll teach you how to make chicken nuggets, and you can go home and you can make them in your own home, and you can give them to your kids, and your kids will think you are a culinary god. I
don't know, man. Kids are dicks. Here's a prime example for anyone watching. I took them. We were in Glasgow today. We stopped by Tantrum Donuts. If anyone's ever had a chance to go to Tantrum Donuts,
we were there yesterday.
Very tasty. My kids would not touch the donuts. They would not absolutely go near them. But if
that's
I
because
bought
it's
them,
not a chicken nugget.
If I bought them the £1 box of crap you get from various supermarkets, they'd be fucking all over it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
43 donuts for £1.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Well, the next time you're on, we'll do a chicken nugget recipe, and you can impress your kids with your culinary skill.
If nothing else, Mrs. K will certainly eat it. But
feeling that, I'll give you a wee Tupperware, put it in the freezer,
right?
Pop them out and go, look what I've made. I just need to pop these in the fryer for 5 minutes.
See if it works. Right. Let's talk about season.
Anyone.
I won't tell a soul. Let's talk about season 3, shall we?
Let's.
First of all, you've actually got get into the guests for just a second. And hopefully, maybe we can find some other interesting suggestions coming in. We've got a couple. I'll get back to those in a wee minute. But what are you thinking of? We've got Grado. Any other names or any other people from different backgrounds you're thinking about?
I can exclusively reveal. We haven't even put this on the Pirate King page yet.
Here it is.
We have a behavioural therapist coming on, who's going to talk all things mental health. A lovely lady called Karen Cleland.
Sweet.
So she's going to come, and I think we're going to make her some nice Korean style barbecue. She's a fantastic lady. Knows her stuff. Has worked all the way through lockdown. Does a lot of her sessions on Zoom, which has been challenging for her as a professional.
Okay.
But so we're going to get in, talk to her about some good mental health habits and the challenges of lockdown. She's very shy, so there'll only be 3 or 4 people will be allowed to watch. So that's one of our guests. We have the king of all things hairy himself. JJ's back on for his standalone appearance. I know the two of you have been on the show, but he wants to go solo on this one. And
I'll be honest, I'm tired of him hanging around. He's outside now. And I think it's about time we started seeing other people.
He's just stroking at the window. So JJ's on. We also have internationally renowned artist Steve Brown. For those of people, the Coup Man.
Yes,
he's done many other works of art, but he's probably best known for his coups.
Certainly is, lovely man.
So that's I'm trying to remember the rest of the guests now. We have a good friend of mine, Mr. Webb, who is one of my biking friends, but Dave Webb. Dave was the carpenter on the Moses project. He's been about for a while. I keep saying the Moses project, the Noah project. He was a guy that
helped the original one from the Bible.
Aye. So Dave's thousands of years old now, but no, Dave's a great guy. But Dave has ridden most of America. He's done Route 66. He's done the Dragon's Tail. He's put some miles in all over the world. He's also a cancer survivor, so
wow.
We're going to get him on the show, and it's probably not the best dinner conversation, but there's a lot of people out there who are suffering loss and are suffering. Have been diagnosed, and it's good to have somebody sit in front of you and say, look, there is a way through this.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not easy. And Dave's told us some horrific stories. But I think it's important for people to know that if they've got this journey ahead of them, what to expect, and show that there is light at the tunnel. There's also Dave at the end of the tunnel, but there's light also. Dave's 18% grumpier than me, but he's when you add red wine to him, he's a fantastic guy. Lots of great stories. So we've got Dave coming on the show. We are. I'm just trying to think. So that's Grado, Steve Brown, Karen, JJ. I've got another couple. I'm trying to remember who it is. Oh, I've got. Again, you get badgered from the smaller communities in the culinary world. So I have found a vegetarian rock star. I've got a friend who is a drummer in the band Fat Alligator, who is also one of your vegetarian people. So we're going to get him on, and we're going to do a vegetarian special. Again, it's another Dave. Lots of Daves on the show.
Is that the first all vegetarian episode then?
Yes, it will be. We done a vegetarian alternative to Christmas dinner.
Right, that's
we done Christmas dinner at the same time. So we'll do the vegetarian with Dave, who's a fantastic drummer, great guy, quite short, but we don't hold that against people here in the Pirate King Kitchen. I've got another couple of guests which I'm still talking to, and obviously yourself, you're always first on the list every time when we put guest lists together.
Well, who knows? I might actually bring Mrs. K along this time just so I can.
I think for your own health, that would be wise.
I think that would be fine, man. I think that would be.
I might actually get her on the show and see what she's got to say about you.
Fucking let her. She's one of watch.
There's a
very lucky woman.
So yeah, so basically we'll get 6 or 7 guests, which will give us 14 episodes, and then we'll take a wee break. We're planning on shooting October, maybe getting into November.
Right.
I quite like this time of night, or maybe I quite like the studio like this, a bit darker and a bit more, but it'll just be down to people. All the people on the show are given their time for free, so
yes,
whenever I can get them, I'll get them. With it being pre-recorded, it gives a bit more latitude, and you have to be here at 11:37 on a Saturday.
Well, I guess being able to do it at different times means, like you say, people's availability. They can get babysitters and blah 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 blah. And also, it means that people can watch it whenever they want, which clearly they were doing with the show beforehand. But now it's going to be there, like Netflix, ready to go. Again, if Netflix want to get in touch with the Pirate King and throw in some readies, then I think that would be a good move. Any thoughts on a Halloween special? What would you make for a little Halloween menu though? What would be the?
I think it would have to be pumpkin focused, or human flesh. Pumpkin or human flesh.
Human flesh is quite pricey just now, though. I find.
Well, you forget I live quite near to Bells Hill. Life is cheap there.
You know a good butcher.
I know a couple of very good butchers. So that was another one of my guests. We have just before lockdown started. I met a butcher called Sarah Swanson, who was the Young Butcher of the Year. So at that time, voted one of the best butcher in Scotland. So she's since moved from the shop that I knew her from. So I was trying to get back in contact with her so we can get her on the show, because I think it's interesting. People are not traditionally not used to seeing butchers who are lady people.
Okay.
So and Sarah's we've had Kevin on the show a couple of times. I'm sick of the sight. I mean, he's opening new shops in Heinlein, and he's forgetting about all his old friends because he's up there with the fancy people in Heinlein. But no, Kevin's a great guy. Kevin will no doubt be back on at some point. I want to keep doing the odd live special. So Kevin's a good guy to have for a live special.
Keeps it spicy as well, doesn't it? Doing the live ones.
If Mark Dallas ever answers his emails, he did originally say yes to the original series,
right?
But obviously, because of lockdown, the original series was bidden. So if I could ever get any sort of contact with Mark, he's on the roster as well to do
I'll probably see him at the ICW show next week, and I will do my best to try and give him a little nudge if I can. Couple of questions coming in for you.
Okay, great.
But before we get to the question, you have a question for some of the
do.
people in the comments. So whether they're watching this on like being shared on the Pirate King page or watching it in Broadbeard or whatever, this is where we're handing it over to the Pirate King.
To them.
What is your question for season 3?
So when we done season 2, we kind of, to separate season 1 from season 2, because as I say, I was brought up near Bells Hill, so my counting skills are not great. We decided to call it the Pandalorian, which was a bit of a, I believe there's a Disney property with a similar name. I'm not familiar with it myself.
Should be.
So we thought, what are we going to call season 3? It'll still be Pirate King Kitchen, but we'll kind of separate it from the live shows to the recording. So here's the gig. We've shortlisted, and we had about 50. I'll actually show you it. These were all the potential names for season 3. So we've shortlisted it to 5. And to the people, the lovely people viewing at home, in the comments down below, tell me which of these would be your choice for season 3 of Pirate King Kitchen. If we then go with that one, the one that gets the most votes, we will use. If we then go with that, then we get T-shirts and that kind of thing printed with the seasons on it. We'll reach out to you once we've had the T-shirts designed and printed, and we'll get you a free T-shirt. So you get to say, I named the show, and this is the T-shirt I got.
Right.
Which I think is not a bad giveaway.
Out of the 5, you'll pick someone at random who's voted for the winning one, and you'll get them a T-shirt. Right.
So if 3 or 4 people have voted for the same one, we'll put them in a hat. Somebody will pull a name out of the hat and go, congratulations, you've won a T-shirt. So,
all right. What are we looking at then?
So the options are Live and Let Fry, Snack to the Future.
Oh, I like Snack to the Future.
Dairy Poppins.
I like Dairy Poppins.
Grill Bill Volume 1.
I think I'm triggered by that name, so I don't know what I think of that.
And Jurassic Pork.
Now I've seen that film, and I understand it's still available on X Hamster. I don't want to put. I gotta say, the Back to the Future one does stand out to me.
Snack to the Future did make my daughter snort Coca-Cola down through her nose, so that did.
I gotta admit, I do like Snack to the Future. Hey, listen, it's over to you guys. Get in touch with the Pirate King directly. Let him know what you think. Don't forget to go over to his page or leave anything in the comments wherever you're watching this motherfucking video. That'd be the best way of going about it.
Yeah.
Couple of questions, couple of suggestions of celebrities coming in.
Okay.
Or I should say guests. Someone's actually suggested Luke Tolson, World's Strongest Man. That wouldn't be a bad one. Or any strongman competitors. I mean, he's probably the big one to get just now.
Yeah, if Andy has a reach out to him or can get him to reach out to us, I would love to have him on the show. I would imagine he's a fairly busy boy at the moment.
Cooking for a strong man as well, that can't be easy. That cannot be easy. Knowing enough wrestlers and their diets.
Yeah, it's so it would be all the chicken, cooking all the chicken, and all the carbs and. No oil. Yeah, that's going to be. I love a challenge. I could probably. The thing that's jumping into my head right now is instead of doing a bucket of KFC, do like a bucket of Kentucky Fried Turkey.
Oh wow!
Just upscaling Kentucky Fried Chicken to, I'm thinking brined and sous vide turkey so that it's all cured and all that, and then sous vide so it's all cooked, to perfect temperature, and then a bit of a crispy coating on the outside of it and deep fried it, so you had big chunks of breast and a big legs. Yeah. Oh
my God, that sounds like epic mealtime, with healthy foods. I don't know if that's ever actually been done.
I don't know. In full disclosure, I don't know if deep frying a turkey in batter is considered healthy. But let's get Luke on the show. Let's get his opinion on the matter.
In some bits of Scotland, it could be. But yeah, similarly, some strongman competitors or some athletes from alternative sports would be quite good. We've had ones coming at Chris Bungyard, MMA fighter. There's a great suggestion as well. Chris Toll, because I think they're mates, actually, in all fairness. I'd have to double check with Chris. That might be a good hookup there. Let's see, we've got another couple of ones coming in here. Actually, a good one has been sent in by Tori Hannah Walker, who's a regular from a Monday Night Improv show. She's actually suggested Ashley Story. Don't know if you know who Ashley is. She's a comedian. She's got a radio show on Friday nights on BBC Radio Scotland, I think. And
do we have an introduction to that?
I can certainly arrange an introduction. I'm good friends with Ashley from back in the day. If I want to reach out to any of our Irish followers, we've got Tommy Tiernan would be a good crack. Don't know Tommy at all, but a lot of people know him as being the sad priest from Father Ted. I know he's done a lot. Don't send me any shit. I know he's done lots of other things. Just that's all I know him from. I think he had his own chat show at one point as well. So that's some good suggestions coming in. We got, what about some American football players? We do have American football teams in Scotland. Like, I don't know, it might be interesting to get some.
I used to play for one of them.
Did you? It was Claymores. It was Claymores.
Well, I played Police Club Pirates here. Well, I've always been a pirate. And done some stuff with the Claymores as well. So I could rustle up a couple of American football guys. Maybe for season 4. Yeah, what we could do, season 4 could be the big boys. Get the strongmen and the American footballers and some of the wrestlers and Bigfoot.
Well, if anyone knows any other athletes like female weightlifters or anything like that, we could get that on as well. I know there's quite a few clubs all across Scotland. We've actually got a really healthy breed in terms of female weightlifting talent. Only know that because a pal of mine's love you, Jacks. Right, another one quick here. I don't know this one. Phil DeFries. That sounds like you're taking the piss, but I don't know who that is. Could be a good shout. He's heavyweight champion of KSW MMA. I don't know him. I have to say, look, I don't know him, but I guess anything's possible. So,
and I finally remembered who the last guest was.
Who is the last guest?
Mr. and Mrs. Wolfington are on.
Oh, God, of course.
So we're going to do half rice, half chips. So we're going to have Wolfie on for the first half, and then we'll have Molly on for the second half.
Who's rice and who's chips?
Well, that's you just have to tune in to find out.
I was about to say that might be a little more. That might be the most personal thing I've ever asked about that couple, so I don't ever need to know that. Who's rice and who's chips? That's just something no one needs to know. A great suggestion actually sent in here by Tori Hannah Walker as well is actually some amazing paramedic people in Scotland. Paralympic, I beg your pardon. Paralympic people in Scotland. That's a great shout, actually. It'd be interesting to get alternative athletes to hear those stories because
that would be.
Yeah, so it's interesting suggestions. Brilliant. Thanks for those stories. There's some great ones.
Yeah, so as ever, would love to do all of that and more. If people have points of contact or friendships or anything like that we could use to get them on, I'm more than happy to listen to the chat and give these people a good lunch or a dinner whenever they would be on the show.
All right. Well, one last suggestion we've had. This comes from Colm. He's actually said, "Didn't Kelly Brook beat Gordon Ramsay in a burger vote once on TV? She might be up for it." I don't know what that would be. That's probably on like James Corden or something.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, we've actually had a contact already. Someone's actually said I can get you Paralympians.
Fantastic.
So I tell you what, James, we'll be in touch. We'll get the Pirate King in touch.
That'd be great. No, that'd be fantastic. I think Ramsey seems to be having his issues on social media. He made an arse of a grilled cheese sandwich at one point. He's been beaten by several people in his live food challenge, and he's currently at war with Josh from Good Mythical Kitchen.
Is he?
The two of them are at it on
Josh will kick his arse. Josh will kick his arse. He doesn't go around saying he played for Rangers. I'll tell you that. No, it's anything wrong with playing for Rangers, but he played like Gordon Ramsay played for Rangers in the same way I've wrestled. If that helps anyone, right? And we'll leave that there.
Yeah. But I kind of respect most professional chefs who still work in kitchens or have worked in kitchens. Because being a professional chef is not about creating a dish in front of a camera. That is a
Mhm.
different skill set. As a professional chef, what you're doing is you are catering to between 20, 50, 100, 150 people, depending on the restaurant you're in. Being a professional chef and working in a professional kitchen is about timing and preparation and execution. It's not about making pretty plates. Now, the more up market you go, the more chefs you have, the more time you have, the more money you have. You can spend the time making the pretty plates. But you want to talk to somebody. I love Josh, and Josh does some fantastic things, but Josh spends all day, maybe 2 days, doing one dish. Josh wants to, and he probably has, I'd maybe selling the guy short, but you'll get on, be a line cook for a place that's battering out 250 covers, that's open from 10 in the morning to 1 in the morning, and do it every day, 6 days a week. Those are the guys you respect in the catering industry. Idiots like me that stand in front of a camera and make 1 or 2 dishes in an hour with all our prep done, and we do this and we do that. Again, I like to cook. I will actually cook. That's a thing.
Yep.
But I'm not cooking somebody. There's not somebody screaming in my ear, "Where's the duck for table 4? Starters table 9. Right, that's a table of 14 in. They've changed all their order. That's what professional chefs do. I'm not a professional chef. Never have been. Never will be. But I have respect for the guys who do it as a living. Yeah. Ramsay at some point lived that life. He had to live that life. And now he's
definitely. When he was discovered, certainly by the TV guys, yeah.
He's more about the brand. But yeah, I love Josh to bits, but never underestimate what real chefs actually do, because it's hard as balls, and that's exactly why I don't do it.
But if it came down to a physical fight, I'm putting my money on Josh. That's all.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
The boy's ripped. The boy's ripped.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. The boy's ripped. A couple other questions in. It sounds like loads of exciting stuff for season 3. But we've had a couple of questions in. A couple of ones have came in for me, actually, which I wasn't expecting, which was, what did you eat as a kid as it wasn't chicken nuggets? I was quite a fussy eater as a kid, but now I don't really give a fuck. So it's a bit of a weird one. Chicken nuggets just weren't a thing when I was a kid.
No,
they just weren't a thing.
I was quite lucky as a kid. My mum and dad travelled a lot for work. So before sort of international travel was as blasé as it is now, my dad would go to Italy for work. We would go to Germany. We would go to the States. So you're eating. I was really lucky. I got to eat like proper Italian food in Italy.
Yeah.
So you got to know what it should taste like.
Okay.
And then you became this obnoxious bastard when you came home and you sat in a restaurant in Glasgow. This isn't carbonara. You become that obnoxious
from Wimpy's is not a burger.
Yes, and you become this obnoxious prill. Going, this pasta's not al dente. But yeah, and you got to try Chinese food, and the work that my family were in, my dad's business was. He was an electrical contractor at the time, and so he used to do all the work for the restaurants in Glasgow. So we used to eat in the Italian communities and the Chinese communities and the Japanese communities. They all had restaurants in Glasgow. They weren't necessarily being used by the non sort of Japanese or Indian or Italian families. They were very much for that culture and that part of the community in Glasgow.
Yeah.
So. But we were allowed to go in because my dad had done the work and he knew the owners and all that. So you got to try proper Chinese food before it became anglicised. Before all the spice and the flavour was taken out and it was replaced with half rice, half chips, and a curry sauce. So I was lucky growing up because I got to try all these things, and that kind of started me on my journey of, well, I can't get this in a restaurant. I can't buy it at a shop. I'm going to learn how to make it. So, but I was never a chicken nugget guy.
No. Not now. I had my first taste of a chicken nugget last week in a proper rank. I don't get it. I wasn't ready for how disgusting it was. I like chicken. I've had it next to raw chicken, and I enjoyed that more than I did a chicken nugget. So you can take that.
Tell me exactly where in the fucking chicken this came from.
Oh,
show me on a picture. Show me where Ronald touched you. Show me where this came from.
I just always imagine it's just smashed up arseholes in a parcel. That's it's always been my opinion.
Apparently, it's mostly chicken breast.
Oh, is it really? Oh, well, I feel a little better about that. That takes off the mind of my kids having to. Never mind, we'll move along. Chicken nuggets aren't just nice. Lots of votes, as to be said, for Pandalorian Season 3. I beg your pardon, Pirate King Season 3, Snack to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Not lots of votes coming in for Snack to the Future, as to be said. But one thing we did do earlier on, we wondered what dish could you possibly Pirate King up? And we've had this coming in, a croque monsieur.
Croque monsieur, that's fancy cheese on toast. That's so that is basically, for those of you who don't know, it's 2 slices of bread, a nice nutty, maybe an Emmental or a Manchego cheese in the middle, sometimes served with ham. And then on top of it, you've got a bechamel sauce with a complementing cheese. So you can make your American grilled cheese sandwich, bechamel on the top, stick it under the grill so the bechamel sauce and cheese sauce goes nice and crispy. So it's a posh cheese toasty, really. It's a posh toasty.
Yeah.
But if I was doing it, I'd certainly go deep into the cheese locker. I'd be getting some. I'd be making the bechamel with some pecorino or some aged Parmesan. Certainly be looking for some nice mature Emmental or perhaps a Port Salut for my inner cheese, some nice Wiltshire ham, maybe a little bit of black truffle into the bechamel as well. You have some black truffle. You quite like the black truffle.
I liked a bit of black truffle. I wasn't expecting to like a bit of black truffle, but I don't mind saying I'm that
you're
guy
all
now.
about that black truffle life. Black truffle for life.
Can't he stop myself?
Yeah. So yeah, you could certainly croque monsieur a croque monsieur. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically it's a posh toasty. It's the way French people make toasties. Because a toasty it's just not complicated enough. The French are like, your toasty, you only have 7 steps. Let us add an extra 9. Okay, so that's probably lost me anybody who watched in France.
Right. Well, I tell you what, we're excited about seeing the new season. We think it's going to be roughly towards the end of October.
Well, we are doing all the shooting. I want to get a few in the can, as they say in the biz. Because I still have to, as I say, as a one-man show, I still need to take them away, edit them, do all the good stuff. I would like maybe just pre-Christmas, for the actual series. And I'm still kind of swaying between, do we dump them all at the same time or do we dump them one at a time? And we will be doing a Christmas special. We'll probably do a live Christmas special, probably on your Boxing Day or that's at Christmas to New Year break. So we'll be shooting through October and again into November, depending on people's schedules. 2 or 3 weeks to edit and put it all together. Because what I don't want to do is, what real life's like. I don't want to edit one, put it out there and go, shit, I don't have any time to do the other ones. I want to have 3 or 4 weeks worth of episodes so that I can then be editing the rest. So realistically, pre-Christmas or just post-Christmas, but either way, we will be doing a live Pirate King Christmas thing.
All right. Okay. And can you give us any more away about what you're thinking about doing for that?
I'm kind of going to put it out to. We're going to do a bit of a thing on the page and just say, look, what do you want to do? Do you want some comfort food for that bit in between? Do you want something nice and crisp and light? Because between Christmas and New Year, everybody just eats and drinks so much. Or do you want to do one? What do you do with the leftovers? Or any of that kind of thing. So the Christmas one will be. See, last year we could have started the King's Speech, which we done on Boxing Day. So it might just be a quick recipe and a bit of chat. Maybe do it live like this, so that we can have some questions and answers. People have got I've eaten all my turkey, but I've got all this sage and onion stuffing left. What do I do with it? Or I've got all the veggies left. What can I do with it? So maybe something along those lines. Just a little a drop-in workshop of. What to do with your Christmas leftovers.
There we go. Bloody hell. All right. Got a couple of last quick questions. First of all, just coming in. First of all, would you ever think about doing an all-vegetarian? I know you're talking about doing your vegetarian special, but would you be up for doing an all-vegan special at any point? Or is that maybe far distant future?
More than happy to do it. As I said, like the whole part of this, the whole point of the recorded shows is it's a blend between the food and the guest. And the guest's got to be connected to the food. So if I can find an interesting vegan that people would like to listen to for an hour or so, then I'll do an all vegan.
Right, okay. Cool. All right.
More than happy to.
And the best place for getting a hold of you and manage to find out some details, just heading over to the website.
So you can go to Facebook, Pirate King Kitchen, or YouTube, Pirate King Kitchen.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, look, make sure to check that out. And of course, we're all going to be very excited, looking forward, to season 3. Will there be a blood-soaked finale? It's anyone's guess. Once again, everyone, give it up for my very special guest tonight, the Pirate King.
Thank you very much, guys.
We shall
Loved every minute.
We shall see you on the other side. Right. That's all we got time for on this episode of Braw Cast, I should say. Head over right now. Make sure to subscribe. Check out the YouTube because you can check out all the archived episodes we've got, and we've got some amazing stuff. Next week, we're actually going to be sitting down and talking to Jordan from American Munchies, an American candy store. We're actually going to be talking about what took him to that point where he was running this candy store and how it's exploded into this business. We're actually going to be coming live from the store. And even though I'm not really allowed any sweeties just now, if I'm a good boy, maybe I'll be allowed to get my neck around some American candy. I don't think anyone's ever said getting their neck around anything. Never mind. I've been Billy Kirkwood. Look, I don't know what's left of them. I'll see you on the other side. Look after yourself and have a great week.